You know when you hear a song and it triggers a memory, it instantly takes you back to a particular person or place or moment. This podcast is all about that song and those memories. Welcome to That Takes Me Back, where we share stories that connect music and memories. We're your hosts, Cal and David.
And Maya Sage. And on today's episode... Yeah, one of those, if I won the lottery, I wouldn't tell anyone, but there would be signs.
Bone whip. What bone surgery? You know, these guys that are getting like these shin grafts so they're taller, waste of money, waste of bones. You could be adding a cool prehensile whip instead.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out where it would be attached exactly.
A belly button.
I mean, what are you really using your belly button
I
for?
mean,
anyway?
why wouldn't you anchor it right there in the middle?
Well, because there's...
We had our coworker Rachel
Yeah.
on the podcast. Let me tell you, listening over to that episode had me cracking up.
Yeah, nice.
Literally sitting at my PC just laughing so hard listening to what we
Nice.
talked about.
Yeah, I do wonder do we find it funny because we were there? It got pretty darn nonsensical.
It went all over the place, but I think it was enjoyable listening.
Yeah, nice. It was really enjoyable talking and just being silly and
Yeah.
being kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. Super
Which,
silly.
of course, was to be, kind of expected with someone like Rachel.
Yeah, true that. It was such a joy.
Yeah, Rachel has that sense of humor that is just a lot of fun to be around.
It
and
is.
I think that came through.
Yeah, it's funny too to think that like they brought a Nirvana song and then
Yeah.
and then it was like the most like lighthearted, goofy, silly Nirvana song.
That's exactly what I was thinking too. Like something that Rachel had mentioned was like waking up in bed or like, being carried to someplace else while you're asleep and
Yeah,
waking.
which is like only happens to you when you're a small child, and it was really cute actually to be reminded of that.
Yeah,
I just appreciated them so much, and it was a blast.
it was so much fun, and I knew that it would. Thank you so much, Rachel.
Yes, thank you, Rachel, and I hope the listeners enjoy. We should start probably with you introducing yourself, if
All
that's
right.
okay with you.
Yes, I think I can do that. My name is Rachel. I work at the library.
Oh, cool.
In case you didn't know, I was born and raised in Grand Junction. At the age of 6, I was born without a face. I like to do art. I'm a big horror nerd. If you follow me on Instagram, I am at Grotesquerie Queen. My art is there when I can remember to post it. I draw quite a bit. I don't post quite so much of it, but I just thought it'd be fun to come on. I don't know. I'm not gonna say I'm boring, but I
don't think you're boring.
I don't have a ton going on.
I feel like you have a lot going on. Personally, you're involved in so many artsy things.
Yeah, and your drawings are really good.
Thank you.
And for everybody out there listening, Rachel illustrated a book that I wrote, a children's book, and it's just such cool illustrations and captured the characters so well.
It was very fun to collab. I really liked that. I hope we can do that again sometime.
Word,
because
me too.
I just like to make drawings. That's my main thing I do, I guess. Otherwise, I just play a lot of video games and watch a lot of movies. So.
Nice. What song did you bring for us today?
My song that I chose was Sliver by Nirvana. When I was growing up, because it's in the chorus, we always called it the Grandma Take Me Home song. I've always been a big Nirvana fan. I was born in 92, which was about the time that, grunge was really, really a thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know, growing up, I listened to a lot of the music that my parents listened to. I would literally go steal their CDs and burn them.
That's
And
awesome.
I loved Nirvana. It's always been my thing.
I relate to that. I love Nirvana too. So
Yeah. And Kurt Cobain was my dude.
that's awesome.
I have to share this fact.
Ooh.
This has nothing to do with me, but I think I share this with you, Kellen. So Kurt Cobain's daughter, Frances, and Tony Hawk's son, whose name I don't remember, they are married and they had a baby recently. His name is Ronan Walker Hawk Cobain. And that is the coolest
What?
baby that has ever existed. Nobody will ever be cooler than that baby.
I mean, literally, what other two parental lines could be cooler than Tony Hawk.
That is
and
like
Kurt Cobain.
royal blood.
That's like the coolest kid ever. Like they're gonna be a grunge little punk on a skateboard.
They have a lot to live up to. That's
yeah.
for sure.
What did you say, Ronan?
Ronan Walker Hawk Cobain.
I love that. That is freaking dope.
That kid is like one of the Targaryens for like skater people.
Yes, dude, for real.
I had to share that because
Wow, that's so cool. I wonder like how they met, like how that happened.
I don't
you know, like
it's like
crazy.
also his daughter super pretty.
Oh wow.
Like she's like really cool.
Wow.
So
Should we play a little snippet of the song real quick? Because I
That's a good
actually
idea,
don't know
yeah.
which one this is. Is this one that you came across in your Nirvana phase?
Nope.
Mom and Dad went to a show. They dropped me off at Grandpa Joe's. I kicked and screamed, said please don't go. Grandma take me home. 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 Grandma take me home.
Yeah, it's kind of cool that we can still talk about our grandmas in grunge.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a semi-universal experience to go hang out at grandma's.
Even Kurt Cobain went to Grandma's house.
Yeah.
I love that. And this album apparently was 92, so that was like,
Oh yeah.
Year of my birth.
that's crazy. I love that. So Nirvana was on your parents' music library.
Oh
as well,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Mom and Dad have a pretty wide range of musical tastes. That's something that I've always really appreciated about them, and I was grateful for growing up. Is they listen to a little bit of everything. Our household did grieve when Johnny Cash passed away.
Totally.
I mean, who didn't? But I remember them listening to a lot of things like country, pop, rock, and
Nice.
obviously this sort of stuff. I also Pearl Jam. Pearl Jam was like one of my other big ones, and I will throw hands at people who make fun of Eddie Vedder's voice.
Dude, I don't care what anybody says. Actually, wait, can I do a little that takes me back about Pearl Jam?
Yes, please do.
My sister's 4 years younger than me. At the time, I might have been like 11 or something. For some reason, she got obsessed with the song Alive. Obsessed with it. She kept playing it on repeat. She would
wow.
like sing to it. She was really into it. She was like so young because of my mom's taste in music. She just liked it. And then my mom told her what it was about. Was like so mad. She was like so upset. She was just like, "What the fuck? You ruined this for me." This like little 7-year-old.
So for those of us that don't know what it's about, what is it about?
Well, I think someone died was the point of, or the origin of the like story that gets told. Yeah. I don't know details more than that actually.
So did your mom want to like intentionally crush her so that she stopped playing it on
know.
repeat?
I wonder maybe.
Maybe a little bit of a content warning here, because would you like me to elaborate
Please
a little
do.
more on? So I believe it is, and I could be totally off base here, but this is what I remember. The Viewpoint character's father died when he was very, very young. And his mother basically revealed to him later on that it's like the person that we've been passing off as your dad is not your biological dad. And then the main character has sex with his own mother.
Oh,
Wow.
So,
what?
yeah.
Okay.
What
Well,
is Pearl Jam on about? What are they?
Pearl Jam covered some really, like, a really wide range of kind of dark stuff. If you remember the song Jeremy, Jeremy, the music video for that was actually banned because it talks about a teenage boy committing suicide in front of his classmates.
Oh, whoa.
And the music video actually shows bits and pieces of that.
Oh,
And,
wow.
yeah, so Pearl Jam covers some heavy stuff.
yeah, I can see why a 7-year-old relates to it.
Well, yeah, that's the weird part. And actually, my mom obviously didn't mention anything about the sex because I didn't even know that was part of it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think my sister, maybe she was just feeling her own aliveness, so she just liked to scream along with the alive part.
That's
and
fair.
then my mom is like, well, it's not about being alive. It's about this guy's real dad being dead or whatever. And it's like, she was like, what the hell? You ruined that for me. So I don't know what she was doing connecting with that song either. It's kind of hilarious.
Sometimes stuff just speaks to us, even when we
Yeah.
don't really know what it's about. It just,
Yeah.
And I feel like grunge, especially. Whether it's something in the vocals or the way it's done, it caters to maybe a more raw part of the emotions. I mean, even with the song that we're talking about today, I mean, it's a goofy song about, being dropped off at grandma's for the night, but the way he sings it,
Totally. It hits you in your angst.
it does.
Yeah.
It's like, grandma, take me back home. I don't want to be here. I'm a kid with no agency in things.
Yeah.
This sucks.
Were there parts then of the lyrics beyond just like the mention of grandma that you feel like you relate to?
There is a bit at the end where it talks about the lyrics are like, about him falling asleep in front of the TV and waking up in his mom's arms. And it does kind of cater to that part of me that I do remember, like, falling asleep at grandma's and like being loaded into the car and waking up that way. And it's like, oh, mom and dad are back. And it's like, it's a weirdly cozy song.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like
Right.
it is like weirdly wholesome
It really is.
for being Nirvana.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that I always liked about Kurt Cobain and his general kind of vibe is that even though he is, he was this very, very angsty, very, rocker dude, there was still something sort of wholesome about him.
Yeah.
In a way that he was very human.
Yes.
I mean, because he was a human, but
Right. No, but I get what you're saying because I think that might be part of the punk vibe is like a dog that barks but doesn't bite. It's very
Right.
like scary on the front side, and people that aren't listening to it would be like, this is like negative music and
they're
whatever.
screaming.
Right. Like he must only be angry or something. He must be an asshole or something. But it's like, actually, he's also a very soft person and he's feeling things
Yeah,
deeply.
and it may be partially the reason that him or somebody else doesn't go out and do asshole things because they're getting it out through their music instead.
Precisely.
Totally. That's true.
Yeah, and I mean, and of course he was a flawed person who, had plenty of his own issues, but overall the vibe that he lended to his music, I feel was very like kind of soft and vulnerable. Vulnerable's the word I'm looking for. I think there
Yes.
is a real vulnerability there because it is equal parts fuck you and also like talking about your emotions and about your memories and about going to grandma's house.
Yeah.
And I always remember very fond memories of my parents taking me on the way to grandma's house because when I was growing up, my mom started working from home later on so she could like be there. But for a while they both had to work, and so I would go to my grandma Aline's house a lot. I love my grandma Aline so much. Like, I don't know how much of this is just going to turn into me like yapping about my grandma, but
do.
she was such a cool lady. And they would always but on the way there, they would be driving there and be like, Grandma, take me home. Grandma, take me home. And I thought it was kind of funny because it's
That's
like,
so fun.
I love going to grandma's though. I don't want to go home.
Right. Aw.
Did you ever sing Grandma Eileen? Da, 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 da.
I didn't. I did not have that sort of repertoire yet. So
It's cute. There's a line right here too that says I fell asleep or after dinner I had ice cream. I fell asleep and watched TV. I feel like grandma's house is always where you get all the treats.
hell yeah.
Big time.
Oh, my grandma was the queen of goodies. When I was like late elementary, early middle school, I remember this period of my life very well. I got obsessed with the Jones soda, the ones in the glass
Yes.
bottles. I got obsessed with those things. And
Rightfully so.
we did not have them very often at our house because, we, for one, we couldn't afford it. And two,
Right.
we tried to eat a little better than that.
Yeah.
But grandma always made sure there was Jones soda in the fridge when I came over to visit her. And I remember that so vividly.
Yeah.
Grandma, bring me Jones.
Grandma, bring me Jones. Grandma, bring me Jones.
That's so cute. But isn't that also just such a loving thing? Like now that you're grown up and like you have a niece and stuff, like you can understand that your grandma literally went to the store and was like, Rachel's going to be coming over. I got to get Joan the soda. It's so cute.
Stuff makes me so emotional thinking about her now.
I do just have to say that. So my dad came and visited me a couple weeks ago, and I went to the store and I got Dr. Pepper and Lucky Charms and fudge stripe cookies because I know that he loves those things. And he drinks milk like I drink milk, so I made sure to get some extra milk. But anyway, like I love that I sort of went the other way around.
Yep.
And was like, treated him to the things that I knew that he would like to have in my house when he came to visit.
That's really cute.
I think that is incredibly sweet. That actually makes me a little emotional because I feel like food is one of those really simple ways that we convey to people that we love them and that we're paying attention.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that you're kind of in the parent's seat for this, you're doing something for them and you're kind of spoiling them a little bit. And I think that is so wonderful. It's dumb that I'm tearing up a little at that, but that is really nice.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
It's cute.
It did feel good actually.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how it feels too, because there is that kind of safety in knowing like this person cares about me enough that they're paying like special attention to like the soda I like to drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. It is such a simple way to show, hey, I love you. I love it when you come over.
Yeah.
And it makes me happy that you had a grandma experience like that because I had such wonderful grandma experiences, but I have realized that not everybody has had those. Not everyone has had like the opportunity of like their grandma making them feel special.
I loved both my grandmas on both sides, big time, but they were so very different. One grandma was, if you were poking around the kitchen, get the hell out of the kitchen, like dinner's not ready for another 2 hours or whatever. And then my other grandma, of course, is like, have you eaten anything? Is there anything I can get for you? And
That's cute.
just like, such opposites, but they love in their own ways, and I loved them both. So
Yeah.
And as I get older, I can understand the first grandma a little
Yep.
more because it's like, I don't want anybody in my space when I'm cooking. It's like, you can be my adored grandchild, and I will still humbly ask you to get out of my hair until dinner is ready.
Especially a teenage boy with a bottomless stomach. She probably
Right.
was just like, stop eating first.
well, and then that would just piss my grandpa off because then I just got into his bowl of pistachios.
Oh, not the pistachios.
He always had the pistachios,
cute.
and I knew where they were.
Now, were they shelled or unshelled?
They were shelled. I mean, they had
You
shells
gotta-
on them.
had to work for
Yeah,
it.
you had to work
Yeah.
for them. Which was the only reason that I didn't just end up with wild stomach aches every time I ate pistachios, because otherwise I would just shovel them in way too fast.
Yeah. No, it's probably a good thing that it slowed you down just a little bit.
Yeah. So I tried to deflect blame because my grandpa would be like, you got into my pistachios again. And I'd be like, well, Grandma's not letting me in the kitchen. So pitting them on one another.
You had no choice. You had to find some way to fill your stomach.
Yeah.
I do think it's funny, though, that like a lot of people I know have such polar opposite grandparent experiences. And mine was, I feel like, very similar because Grandma Aline's husband died before I was born. And from what I know about him, I am not deeply sad that I never got to meet Grandpa Ted because he was apparently not a very cool dude.
Okay.
But Grandma Aline was like so sweet and so funny, and it's funny that Dad's like, I find it funny that your grandma's so like has gotten so soft and sweet in old age because she was such a hard ass when we were growing up.
Wow.
Then I had my maternal grandmother, who I think a lot about in hindsight as scary grandma. She had like these very clearly false teeth, and they were so long. They reminded me of horses' teeth.
Whoa.
And she chain smoked, and I just, even when I was little, I considered her kind of an off-putting woman. And as I got older and learned things about my family, it's like, oh, she's very off-putting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So she also is a bit of an actual meanie.
Yeah. Grandma Aline, though, was always the fun grandma.
Cute.
I absolutely adored her. So she was definitely like, have you eaten yet?
Yeah.
Take some home with you,
That's
kind of.
cute.
And the more I kind of learned about like her history and everything, because she grew up during the Great Depression. And so like food was, I remember her telling me once they had to eat horse meat, which was really gross.
Yeah.
Just all of this stuff. So it's like the fact that she was, so ready to provide for the people around her as soon as she had the means to was it hits you really hard once you realize like, oh, she did all this because she loved me.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. And it's like cute that you also have heard the perspective of like she was a hard ass while they were kids.
Oh yeah.
But then it just makes me think maybe like she probably also adored being grandma and like being allowed to have that softness now. Like when you're not fully in charge of the kid and it's not your own kid and you don't have the same financial stresses and whatever. Like
Exactly.
you get to be fun and you get to get the Jones soda and
Yeah.
like it's just cute because that the love of that softness probably goes both ways.
Yeah. And I remember she would always want to like do something together. We would always do like crafts together and things. And
cute.
my favorite thing in the world was making quote unquote stuffed animals with her, because mostly it just consisted of like she would buy a bunch of felt and I would like cut out shapes and then I would like stuff them and glue them together. Or sometimes she'd sew them together for me because she sewed.
Cute.
And I loved that so much. I had like a big pile of like these really awful looking stuffed animals I'd made because I was a small child with no real fabric making skills. But
Dude, so this little friend sitting over there in the library, Mr. Beans. Wait, is that his name?
Beans, yes, Beans.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Just Beans.
Just Beans. Sorry,
yeah.
no Mr.
Mr. Beans is his
But-
dad's name.
Yes,
I
exactly.
didn't realize that this skill started at such a young age for you. You've been like creating shapes out of felt and stuffing since like day one.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the work I do now in youth services at the library, it reminds me of my grandma because she loved doing like the artsy craftsy stuff. She was all about that. I would go over and I had my own little desk in my room at her place, and I would like sit there and draw, and she would save all my drawings. After she passed away and we were kind of going through her stuff that she owned, there was a big binder just full of drawings that I had made from over the years.
Wow.
So cute. That's precious.
And I will say also, in her defense about her being a hard ass as a parent, she raised 3 boys. And I would say that my grandfather probably counted as a fourth because he apparently did not contribute a whole lot to the household. So they also had like 3 St. Bernards at one point.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So she was managing a lot. And
Yeah.
yeah.
She was managing like over a handful of giant slobbering hairy
Things.
beings.
And then the dogs. So
Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
yeah, I don't know. I could go on for a long time about my grandma. I just and she would always do the grandma thing where you like when you were getting ready to leave, she would stand outside the house and she would like, wave, and she would like and
cute.
it would crack me up sometimes with my dad because it's clear how much he loves her, but he would also get kind of like frustrated with her sometimes, like, we gotta go, Mom. We gotta go. Okay, Mom.
Yeah.
It's like, no, let's stay longer. Maybe she'll give us more cookies if we stay longer.
Yeah.
I also remember watching Jerry Springer with her.
Oh, wow. That's so funny.
Grandma loved Jerry Springer.
That's great. Was there music taste of hers that rubbed off on you at all?
Not really. She was not a big music listener. Yeah.
Because I was going to say, like, it would just probably be a whole different generation of music if, she
for
did.
sure.
Yeah.
So did you influence her? Did you bring over some Nirvana?
I'm sure that I tried to show her some of my music that I was listening to, and I love her so much. She would always have the same response for when she just absolutely could not stomach a personal choice you had made, but she was too kind to tell you that that's different.
That's
Yeah.
I remember dyeing my hair. I think I had dyed my hair purple, and I was like in early college, and I came over to see her, and she's like, "Your hair looks so different."
Oh
It's
my
like,
gosh.
Oh, she hates it.
Yeah,
right. That's the last thing you want to hear when you do something brave
Right.
like that too.
It's sort of like the grandma way of saying "cool story, bro."
Exactly. Yes, that is very much grandma for cool story, bro.
Oh, that's funny.
I don't know, but I know I've been talking a lot about my experiences, but like, did you guys stay over at your grandparents a lot, or?
Yeah, well, my whole upbringing honestly was centered around my grandma because we would go there for the entire summer.
Oh wow.
It was honestly just a chance for my mom to make money and not have to pay for babysitting. So
Fair.
yeah, we would be driven over the mountains and be in Colorado Springs for the whole like 3 months of summer. And back then, your summer was long. They didn't do this weird thing they're doing now where it starts in the beginning of August. So yeah, that was a substantial amount of time
Yeah,
for
totally.
every year of my childhood. So yeah,
Actually was sort of similar. It wasn't like the entire summer, but it was big chunks of the summer. I'd drive over the mountain this way, so I was living in the
right.
Denver area. And
they lived out
They
in-
lived in Hotchkiss, and so we would go over and spend a week or 2 or 3 or 4 at a time. They had these big barns on the property, and we'd stay up like in the loft area of the barns,
Nice.
and so we kind of had like our own space, and that we would do our own little trouble in. And we would always have to take turns. I'm talking about like my siblings and my cousins. We would take turns asking my grandparents for certain things, like if we could play on the computer or if we could have a snack, because they were so scary that it was like, no, it's your turn. No, it's your turn. No, it's your turn. And then and we would do like truth or dare to like go and like say something stupid to my grandpa and just like see how he would react to it. And like, because he'd be like, "What the hell, bud? Like, that's great." And like, my grandpa was hilarious, but like, I think that he was like loving in his heart. But like, my brother gave him one time his graduation picture, like for Christmas or something, and he goes, "Well, that's nice. I'll put it under the bed and scare away the mice."
dude.
So that was like really like typical of him.
Wow.
But at the same time, my truck broke down and he worked on it and, made sure that it, was running properly.
Yeah.
Like he was just like a bit of an old grump, sort of.
Yeah, but he made sure that we were all taken care of, but it was also like, get the hell out of the kitchen, get the hell out of the house. Like, I don't want to see you back in this house until it's dinner time. Go out and play in the fields, whatever. And which was so much of my childhood was just like getting in trouble with my cousins, just trying to figure out what to do for fun,
Totally.
But they really provided a space where they just had some acreage out in Hotchkiss, and we'd go out and do whatever the heck, like building forts and,
Awesome.
the stuff that you're kind of supposed to be doing growing up.
Totally.
Hotchkiss is gorgeous. That must
Yeah.
have been so cool.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah, and later on, it was just formative too. In that, I ended up working on a peach orchard in Hotchkiss, and staying at my grandparents' house, and they let me live there for free while I was working on this orchard, and just a really cool, early job experience. And they wanted you to be well, to eat well, and all of that, but they also were very much take responsibility for yourself.
Oh yeah.
Well, in a little bit of that generation, I think is always going to have the seen and not heard type mentality with kids. And there's
Right.
just firm lines on behaving and
Right.
shutting your mouth and not tracking mud in the house. And I don't know. Just,
Right.
Yeah.
Close the damn door.
yeah, you're letting all the flies in here.
The electricity.
Yeah. Turn on. Why is every stinking house or light in the house on? Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Also, when you mentioned growing up, around the farm stuff and everything, that reminded me a little because I had a slightly similar experience. grandma's house was in Appleton instead of Hotchkiss.
Oh, wow.
But the land is still out there. My aunt lives there now. But that was the other really cool thing is that my aunt and uncle, Uncle Bob and Aunt Sandy, lived on the same property as my grandma. They had a separate house out there. I wish you guys could have met my Uncle Bob because he was such a cool dude. He was so funny. He was my dad's older brother, which meant that I got all like the great embarrassing stories about my dad from him.
Oh, that's the best.
I love that. My dad is the littlest brother of the three. So,
Oh,
yeah.
wow. That's perfect.
But and I believe my aunt still does look after some animals out there, but they had horses, they had goats. That's where I first learned I was terrified of horses.
Oh, right. Yep. Totally fair. Totally fair.
I tell this story to pretty much everybody, but they had a miniature horse named Peanut, and Uncle Bob loved every single animal. There was not an animal he did not vibe with. Peanut hated his guts.
Whoa.
And so he would wear this big padded bulky motorcycle jacket whenever he went out to go feed the horses because Peanut would try to bite the shit out of him
my
through like
God.
the bars of her enclosure. And he would just kind of laugh it off. He would be like, "Oh, Peanut."
That is
So was Peanut like this to everybody?
Peanut was pretty hostile.
Okay. So it wasn't just Uncle Bob.
No, it like most animals got along with Uncle Bob, but Peanut for some reason was just spiteful.
That was, miniature looking at all these regular size horses.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
like
maybe
what the
he had
hell?
a complex a little bit.
Yeah. And also if I was named Peanut, I would probably be pretty upset too.
Honestly,
so.
that was one of my thoughts. I was like, well, you guys could have named him like Mighty.
Yeah, Maximilian,
something.
Chadwick.
Chadwick.
Big horse.
Yeah.
Big horse.
Normal sized horse.
Perfectly average sized horse.
Come here, perfectly average sized horse. But it was such a cool experience getting to grow up around that because I also loved going to the co-op with Uncle Bob. It was the coolest thing. He had like the big enclosures full of baby chicks. That is one of the best smells in the world. Uncontested is the smell of baby
Really?
chicks.
Oh my God.
It's like that wood chip smell and just like the baby animal smell.
Yeah. There is babies, period. What's going on there? Any baby form of anything, it has a good smell.
Yeah,
Well,
like
it's-
like puppy breath.
Yes.
What is that about?
Their corn chip breath.
And their corn chip paws.
Their corn chip.
Yeah.
Yeah, because dogs like actually produce the corn chip smell when they're like content, I think.
Stop. Is
I
that
feel
real?
like that is actually like the smell of a happy dog is the corn chip smell.
Yeah.
Do you think that's what's happening with human babies, or do they just smell good because they're fresh on Earth and they haven't been like oxidized and everything for 30
when you think
years?
about where they came from.
Yeah.
Well, but that's like long gone when
It
it's
is.
like months old.
Yeah, word.
I'm sure it's like an evolutionary thing that babies produce a certain smell, so you're more inclined to love them, and
Yeah,
you
because
know,
it like literally makes you want to like kiss on their little forehead. You're like, aw.
babies smell like butter. They do. They smell like
I
butter.
don't even know. I feel like it's undescribable. I don't know how to. It's just like it's just baby. Yeah, because if you could bottle like ode a puppy corn chip.
That does it totally reminds me of my mom because she called my dog when we were growing up like little Frito feet.
Frito feet.
Frito feet.
Yeah.
That's really cute.
And she was also obsessed with puppy breath. Like loved puppy breath.
I mean, puppy breath is pretty great.
It is special. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
And the way I love it when babies are like, they've just learned to walk enough to where they're like fairly confident with it, but they're still just like, it's
Like
it's
way
the
wobbly.
little dude waddle.
Yes.
It's like that. Babies, man.
Yeah. I love it too. Like at any moment, one of their knee is going to give out just for no reason, and they're just going to like not be able to walk
But
for
it-
that step.
And it's so funny because like they'll tumble, they'll fall, and it's just like bonk, and like it's nothing at all. Like if I felt like that, I'd be like out for a week now.
No, I genuinely think that like their whatever's going on with their collagen and their
Yeah, their-
cartilage is still
bones are
forming.
rubbery.
It's like they're literally bouncy.
Yeah.
They also have a lot less distance to fall.
That's probably part of it.
Also, though, they have more bones than us, which I think is really fucked up and unfair. I want more bones.
You want more bones?
I want more bones.
Yeah.
I don't think it's fair that this dumb baby gets to have all the bones and I get none.
Well, and like some of those bones are a little bit inconvenient, like their skull plates not being fused together yet.
Right. It's just because
We wouldn't really.
they
we
haven't
wouldn't
fused
really-
together.
Yeah, we wouldn't work very well if we had like movable skull plates still.
But I mean, your body, your choice.
Maybe I want movable skull plates.
Yeah.
Have you ever considered that? Maybe I want to alter my head shape. Maybe I want
just
to
give a little bit of this one day.
I want a fun like I want a hexagonal head.
Oh my god. I just had a vision to like the future of like ultimate body modifications, like Hunger Games. No, they didn't even do that as much. It was more of like the gaudy outfits and stuff that they were doing. But like, yeah, sky is the limit in the future with weird. We might have hexagon heads out
Yeah,
there.
yeah, and we can imagine this utopia where we all get as many bones as we want.
Yeah.
I want 500 bones exactly.
Doesn't matter where they are. You
No.
just the end number needs to
So,
be that. Yeah.
so by your logic, breaking a bone in half gives you an extra bone.
Yes. Yes. I'm just picturing like the new fun kinds of ways we like find to body shame people with like movable head plates. Do you have bowling ball head? Take this collagen drink to solve it.
Did you accidentally end up with 501 bones? Call this number. You might be qualified for a lawsuit or whatever those like.
Yeah. Yeah, you see Hannah over there? She only has 499 bones. What a freak.
Yeah, what a weirdo. She put her bones on her face instead of on her arms because that's what I would do for the record. I would have
Face,
like
extra face bones.
no, I would have arm bones like a pine tree. I would just have all kinds of appendages sticking off so I can just like hang shirts off of my arms and
So-
stuff. Because I already have mastered like the 8 things in
this
each
is-
hand.
So these are extra bones, but we're not talking like extra muscle or like extra like ligaments or anything,
I don't
right?
care. It can just be a bone sticking straight out of my arm. I just need some hooks.
You want to be a coat?
You want to be a coat rack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to never take 2 trips with my grocery bags in from the car ever again.
And the
Water
And-
bottle,
and-
keys, everything just hanging off of my bony protrusion.
Okay, Kellen, what would you do if you could have extra bones?
oh man, I feel like I'm the only one who hasn't thought about this. What,
Didn't do your homework.
So yeah, that's I'm sure a very common icebreaker question.
It really is.
Where and what would you do with extra bones?
That was actually a question at my last job interview. I feel like if I had extra bones, I would want most of them like jutting out of my back, kind of like a porcupine, but like then people could play like horseshoes and like throw stuff and try to like
yeah. You'd have to like,
Like ring
modify your
toss.
clothes to like fit over them or like have them peeking out every once in a while.
I
show some backbone.
show a little flirty backbone. I also want one really long pinky, just one singular long pinky.
So that's not so. You're just adding a bone to the end of your pinky.
Yeah.
Okay. Or I guess you would add the bone internally.
Yeah, and the skin would cover it.
Right.
I want to
See, this is part of my question here. Like, so like, are your groceries carrying bones skin covered?
I wasn't thinking I cared about that.
Those are my grocery bones.
Maybe
Or,
it's
like, they're
better
just
if
like-
they don't have skin and neurons. I'm just going coat rack mode. Like I just
Yeah. So
want the
like,
pure
you don't even
bone.
have like marrow inside. Like you're just.
Yeah. No. I'm thinking more like spiny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Word. Yeah. Like external spines, sort of like Rachel's talking about.
Which I fully respect.
Okay, so after thinking about it, here's my extra bones.
Okay.
That I want. I'm sort of picturing here like Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. Ooh. So I would have like a chain or like a whip of bone.
Oh.
that like maybe could curl up like on my abdomen or something.
Whoa.
And then I could like use it to like wrangle things. It could have like a hook on it.
That's sick.
That's actually the most functional bone idea.
Also, that's like the dopest thing ever. Kellen, that's so cool.
that's
Thanks.
smart.
Well, storage would be an issue. I mean, like you'd have to figure out
but
like
that's
you
part
could
of
like
it.
wrap it around your body or
Yeah, just do a little waist
And then your waist is snatched.
snatched. There you go.
yeah, you have like a zip tie to kind of
Yeah.
keep it together, and then
And then when you're walking around and somebody randomly falls off of a bridge, you can go, wait,
yeah, I've got my bones.
and lasso them.
Yeah.
And then you're a hero.
And then you're a hero. I like
Today, the bone controversy was ended when a boy was saved from falling off a bridge.
it. Yeah.
Now everybody is okay with
Pro
the
bone.
extra bones. Pro bone.
No.
I'm not pro bone. I've never been pro bone. This is the future I want.
This is the future we deserve.
What length are you thinking?
It's so hard to decide between, having it be longer and more useful in some ways, and just being absolutely this anchor of a horrible thing to be carrying around.
Imagine
maybe-
like you get home, you pop your shoes off, you let your bone whip.
Oh.
Funny.
Yeah, because you might have to have like a bone whip sling.
Yeah.
You know?
True.
Yeah, something to carry that weight.
So I'm gonna go with 6 feet. No, that's not long enough.
About 6, 7.
Yeah, there you go.
Sorry.
So funny.
But I really appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah, thank you so much for being
Thank you
here.
so much for joining us.
I hope that I've provided maybe the makings of a good show. I know I had fun. So
Yeah.
That's what we care about. So
Thanks for tuning in to That Takes Me Back, broadcasting from 970 West Studio in beautiful Grand Junction, Colorado.
Today's episode was recorded, produced, and edited by your hosts, Kellen David and Maya Sage. Did you know that there's a lot of our conversation that doesn't make the final episode? If you want to hear full, uncut interviews, you can join our community on Patreon. Our website is thattakesmeback.org, where you can find all of our episodes as well as a playlist of the songs we've had on the show. Feel free to email connect@thattakesmeback.org. We'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed listening, please share it with a friend.